soft enough. Everything's blunt. It's not been sharpened in years. I haven't used my woodworking tools in a long time. So I've been struggling, but I can't put it off any longer. Yeah, there's no edge on that at all. So, oil stone. I've already put some oil on there. I've just used WD-40 just to lubricate. And basically, I don't know if you can make it out, but it's basically an angle pre-ground by using sort of like a bench grinder. And then there's just the final little nib on the edge is what you finish off with an oil stone, just to get that sharp edge. And basically do that by rubbing it backwards and forth on an oil stone, trying to maintain the same angle. This oil stone's actually a little bit worn. There's a slight curvature, so it's difficult to get a perfectly flat edge. But what will happen is as you grind it off, you can see the colour change. But bearing in mind, I'm not doing the whole surface, it's just literally the finer edge. Give it a bit longer. You try and use the whole surface of the oil stone to prevent it from wearing in one spot, which is easier said than done. And then you reverse it, hold it on the flat, rubbers backwards and forwards, and that just takes the burr off the back edge. Once more. I haven't got a cloth to hand. You just use your thumb very, very carefully just to tell. Yeah, there's a bit of an edge on that now. It's not perfect by any stretch. Let's give it a bit there. Again, take the burr off the back. That's better. You basically nap the edge. Bit of a technique to this. Basically just allowing it to slide down your hand, and you're just turning your hand, bring it back the other way, and I'll just take the very, very fine burr off with your hand, basically, without blunting the blade and without cutting yourself. Yeah, I can feel that now. It's better. Trusty old block plane. About 30 years old now. I bought this when I was about 20, doing my unofficial apprenticeship. And yeah, eyesight's better. I'll need my glasses. You can basically cast your eye down the face of the plane. You should see it just starting to protrude. I'm not sure whether I'll be able to do it anymore. Don't think my eyesight's good enough. go with a chisel in a minute. About 8 chisels in total, and they're all had it. Oh, there we go. That's better. Actually doing something there. We go with a chisel this time. Then there's a lovely old chisels. I bought these when I was about 20 as well. And they've been abused over the years. I'll start on the back just to clean it up. Try and get rid of some of the rust. Better. Do the face now. Yeah, not much of an edge on that at all really. I think I probably need to take that to the bench grinder and clean up this face. Yeah, I can feel a lot of burring on there. Try this stone that's a little bit flatter. I think it's a coarser stone as well. It's getting better. That's got it. It needed the coarser stone, just remove a bit more material. It's not pretty, but at least it should cut now. Bit more like it. loads better. No joinery. Okay, so I've got all my joints ready. I've done a dry fit and they all seem acceptable. It's time to start gluing it all together now. So I'll use this product. Back in the day we used to call it Cascamite, but it's obviously changed brands. It's called something else now, Resinite by Everbuild, but it's the same kind of stuff. It's basically a water-based wood adhesive, but it sets like a resin, so it's really tough, and it's also waterproof because obviously this is going to be outside. And I'm using this because I want to be able to fill up the little imperfections and gaps. There's quite a few. So it's been a while since I've used this. Very kindly donated by my neighbour. Thank you, Mark. From memory, I think it sets quite quick, so I won't mix up too much at any one time. It doesn't take very much water at all. These flexible tubs are brilliant. Definitely worth investing in a couple of those. They're really cheap. I think I got this from Toolstation. And the beauty is, because they're flexible, as the adhesive or whatever it is that you're using, as it goes off and hardens, it becomes brittle. So then you can just literally flex the little tub and it'll break and crack up and then fall out. Plus the sides are really slippery. So it doesn't actually, the adhesive doesn't actually stick to the tub that well. So you can break it free. So there we go. Looks a bit like the flour and water glue that used to make us kids, didn't it? So there we go. Try and get rid of all the lumps. I'll make it a little bit thicker actually. I'll make it a little bit thicker because I want to try and fill up some of the gaps in my imperfect joinery. There we go. It's like a cheese sauce. Knock up a quick roux. There we go, I think that's ready. I'll do for the first batch anyway. So like I said, it's water based. You mix it up with water, but then once it's gone off, it sets incredibly hard. Right, let's go and stick the post together. Okay, here goes. Feeling that's going off already. I can't remember it going off this quick before, but I don't know how old the glue is. So I'll have to move pretty fast. I have to apply it quite thick on the top because that was my worst cut, and that joint doesn't meet up, so I'll lay that on pretty thick. Hopefully that'll close up the gap. Didn't think this through very well, did I? Tell you what, this timber's surprisingly heavy. Looks like there's small pieces, but it's very chunky material. Don't think I've made up enough. Learn that for next time. Mix up some more. Just get away with that, I think. Finger right in the glue, brilliant. I think I'm just going to use 3 screws. I'm predominantly going to rely on the actual glue itself. How should I do this? Do you know what? I'm just going to use 2 screws, I think that'll be fine. Because all the force is going to be transmitted through the glued surfaces. And you've got point-to-point contact there, so the load's being transferred directly from this post to this one, and the same here. So these are literally just to hold it in place laterally. Very important now to wipe the excess glue into your piss poor joints. Oops. Too worried about the exact finish, because probably what I'll do is I'll dress it back afterwards with the angle grinder using the sanding attachment just to lose the blemishes, and it's all going to get painted anyway in a colour that will match the fence, so these slight imperfections hopefully I'll be able to lose. Yeah, that's going off already. Scott Brown, I am not. Well, that's passable. That was the worst one. Hopefully the rest will be better than that anyway. But I'm going to quickly wash the brush out now before it goes off. Like I said, once it goes off, it's just set solid. There's no going back. So meet me on the next one. last night it didn't capture the footage of me getting the horizontals up, because that's quite a big moment really, certainly a big visual impact. So as you can see, that's the full 6 metre length bridging the two piers, and now I'm going to double those up, and once they're doubled up I'm going to put the rails down the side, which will allow me to carry the other end 6 metre beams, and then I can start infilling in between. So here we go, time to time lapse.